everyone, I'm Kristin from Paige Simple, and in this video I'm going to show you how to cut and assemble your printable invitations. So our printable invitations come, you can either order them as a PDF or you can order them as a JPEG. If you order a JPEG, what you'll actually want to do is print it as a picture. So there really isn't any cutting and assembly. What you'll do is you'll just print it as a 5x7 photo, or you can take it to a photo lab and print it as a, have them printed as a photo. But if you order a PDF, there's some cutting and assembly that you need to do. So there's two different options for PDF files. You can purchase it, invitation 1 per page, and when you do that, what you'll receive is a file that's print ready, and it'll print one invitation on the front, and you can also choose to print a pattern on the back. So this is what it'll look like when you do 1 per page. There's little trim marks that will show you where to cut, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. But the other option that you have is to print 2 per page. So I can actually format the file so that there's 2 invitations per 8.5 by 11 sheet. What this does is it saves you money on printing. Most of the office supply stores will charge you per page. So this, you get 2 per page and half the cost. And this has a full pattern on the back, so when they're cut out, you get the coordinating pattern on the back of the invitation. So, like I said before, there's little trim marks on the files that show you where to trim. So the easiest thing to do if you do print and trim these at home is you make sure that you line up your paper trimmer with those little lines. And it's important to remember while you're doing this that these invitations are 5x7. So at some point, all of the little lines will be trimmed off because we don't want those showing on your invitation. In the last cut that you're going to make, you'll need to just line the invitation up, at the 5-inch mark or the 7-inch mark, depending on the side that you have left to trim. So I just trimmed 3 sides, and now all my little lines are gone. So, oh shoot, where do I trim the last one? Well, I know that it's 7 inches tall, so all I need to do is line it up at the 7-inch mark, and then I can make my final cut of the invitation. And I've got the front, it's 5x7, nice clean cut, and then the pattern right on the back. I forgot to mention that when you do get the file, there's a 1/4 inch bleed around the entire side, so you see here that some of the pattern cut off, and that's supposed to happen. That's so that you make sure that there's no white on your final product. So this is what it looks like when you have the 1 per page. And then when you're cutting the file that has 2 invitations per page, the process is pretty much the same. You have to be a little bit more careful just because of the trim lines, and it's a little bit harder to line up when you're cutting 2 per page. But you'll want to start, I like to start at the top and just trim the top off. So we'll make 1 cut there. And then I do the sides. And I do the center cuts next. I just line my trimmer up with a little mark. Trim that. And then there's 2 cuts in the center because each invitation has a bleed, so don't forget that. And then I'll cut the final edge. And now I have, the 2 invitations, and now I need to trim the bottom. So I'll line it up right at the 7-inch mark and trim off the rest of the border. And I ended up with two invitations. They both have patterns on the back, 5x7. And when you print at home, you'll have to purchase envelopes. There's a number of different places that you can get envelopes. My favorite place is Paper Source. They have colored envelopes, that match, coordinate very nicely with the different colors in my design palette. So You know, for this Apple Collection invitation, I like the Clover envelope from Paper Source. You know, we also have, for the pumpkin invitation, the navy from Paper Source coordinates very nicely. And then our most popular invitation, the whale invitation I used for Chase's first birthday party, the red envelope from Paper Source looks very nice. But if you decide you don't want to spend money on the colored envelopes, white works perfectly fine as well. You know, and you can get white at any local craft store or any local office supply store. So just make sure that when you do purchase the envelopes that you want size A2, because the A2 envelopes will fit the 5x7 invitation. Okay, thank you.